what is something that people normally say they do with ChatGPT?
Specifically in real estate.
Yeah.
Public descriptions. I think they'll use that a lot for like their listings. They'll put in like a few points about the house and then say, make this a public description using X amount of characters, like if they're limited. And that's one thing I know that a lot of people do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sounds great, but it is kind of like a magic trick. It's a one-off. Like, do this one description for me. Another example I hear all the time is it helps you compose emails. And I've done that myself as well. But again, that's kind of a one-off. I've recently been looking a lot at what other people are doing with it, and I'm realizing that there is a huge ability to use AI as an ongoing personal assistant for your real estate life, but also other parts of your life. So I have been able to do some pretty amazing things in a pretty short amount of time. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you something relatively advanced. Then I'm going to show you how I build something relatively simple. And then next week, the project is going to be we are all going to build something very simple together that will be very useful. And then we'll keep learning together. So what I want to do, if you guys can see my screen, I created an AI agent, and we should talk about what that means. When people mention AI agents, they talk about something that has a specific persona that does a specific job for you. So you might have an AI agent that takes care of human resources at the Clemens Center, or you might have an AI agent that assists with marketing at Corning Credit Union. Jarvis, and I'm just going to say hello. Uh, okay. Hello, Jarvis. He's basically saying he's up and running. Now, the thing about Jarvis is I programmed him with jokes, and I didn't program the jokes in. The jokes are just he knows that he is Tony Stark's computer assistant, and I'm borrowing some of his resources to do my stuff. So he is very disapproving of Tony Stark, and he makes a lot of jokes. None of them have been naughty yet, which is good. All right, so I'm going to let Jarvis tell you what he does. So, Jarvis, can you give a two-sentence summary of what you do for JD Isles? All right. And he basically says, I operate as your dedicated Google Keep exclusive personal assistant, managing your contacts and information under a precise set of rules you've established. All right. He basically helps me with my lead gen. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and ask him, Jarvis, can you show me the people that I am scheduled to call today or earlier, and I just want their names? And I'll show you where he's storing this information. Hold on a second. Okay, so currently the only schedule he has on record for Mickey Mouse, he's the only one right now. Oh, that he created. Hold on a second. Jarvis, can you look through my entire Google Keep set of notes and tell me who Tom Aber is? So bear with me. I actually crashed. Okay, here we go. So I crashed my first version of Jarvis this morning. So I had to rebuild the second version. However, this is teaching me how to do things better. Okay, so Tom Aber. He's a past client, friend, and contractor. He's actually the guy that put together my bathroom. Here is my history with him, my recent history with him. And you can see that the next call date is November 11th. All right. So what I can do with this is if I have to put a new contact into my database, Jarvis, could you create a new contact for Andrea Mosier? She is with the Elmira Corning Board of Realtors, and she's a good friend. Could you schedule a call to her in exactly 1 week? All right, so there's Andrea Mosier. When is the next time I'm supposed to call Andrea Mosier? And it is scheduled in exactly 1 week, November 12th.
That's way too long, JD. You may want to
Yeah.
move that up a little closer, please.
So then I can ask Jarvis, with everything you can see in my Google Keep, who are the 3 most important or urgent people that I should call today? Mhm. Yesterday, so we're all taken care of with him. Tom Aber, which we talked about. I actually talked to Tom yesterday, but Jarvis does not know that yet because I have not told him. And Joe Gertzel, next call date is a little bit overdue. So this is how I'm starting to use Gemini more as a personal assistant. Now I can come in here and say, Jarvis, I actually talked to Tom Aber yesterday. We traded texts. Everything is great with him. Please schedule a call with him around November 24th so I can wish him a happy Thanksgiving. All right. And he's probably going to, no, he updated Tom Aber. Da-da-da-da. And now I'm going to ask him, Jarvis, can you give me an updated list of the 3 most important people that I should call that I'm due to call today or earlier, or contact in any way? So you'll see Tom Aber has disappeared from the list. Oh no, he's very stuck on Tom Aber. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, he's saying Mickey Mouse is the 3rd most. So, but you get the basic idea. And again, this is something I cobbled together myself. There's a part of Google, and we'll talk about Google in a second. There's a part of Google called Google Keep, which is basically like Evernote, but it is Google's version of Evernote. And what it allows you to do is just throw data in here in any kind of format. And that is what Jarvis is pulling the contact information from. What it allows me to do is just like I did with Andrea a little bit earlier, I can create a contact with my voice on the fly very quickly. I can even do it with my phone. I've had someone recently ask me why I am not doing this with ChatGPT. And the main reason is because all of my emails are in Gmail. all of my docs are in Google Docs, and Gemini can see all of that. Okay. And then tasks is something none of us use that your AI agents can use. And keep is probably something none of us use. So, to give you another example of the utility of this, so now I'm going into a different AI agent that I built. He is called Alfred. Alfred is kind of functioning as my personal butler, but he also kind of monitors my schedule and reminds me of things and everything else. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, "Hi, Alfred." Okay. He knows I'm in the Zoom HTTP group because he has my schedule. And he knows my next event is checking the boat cover at 2 p.m. I'm going up to the lake house to make sure it is not blown off of my boat, which it probably has. So let's do a trick with him. Uh, Alfred, could you do me a favor? Could you look at everything in my Gmail account, everything in Google Tasks, everything in Google Keep, and everything on my calendar for today, and tell me what you think the five
Mhm.
most important things I need to get done before the end of the day are.
That's how you know I don't care.
All right, so we're going to let him chew on this for a second. While he's doing this, what questions do you guys have? I don't know if this is impressive, boring,
Love
overwhelming.
you.
I don't know what this is to you guys.
What happens, JD, when you tell Alfred something that you really should have told Jarvis? Because I think if I had two different assistants, I would start mixing them up.
So I have actually taught them the types of things that I talk to each of them about. They know about each other. And like, for example, I have something that tracks calories called Goodbody. And if I try to give calories to Alfred, he kind of says, "This is not, I don't have to do this anymore. This is what Goodbody's for." Even though Alfred was tracking my calories a week ago. All right, so here's my list. Da-da-da-da. He's saying, okay, so medication, the Joel Mechanic contract, which is correct. That's something I'm actively working on. Check boat cover, knows about the boat cover. Okay, here's a big thing. Alfred knows that one of the most important things to me, as it should be to all of you, is my daily lead generation. And he knows that I want to do at least 15 minutes every day. So until I tell him I've done my lead generation, he will keep reminding me. And then the other one is I have a spreadsheet. Andrea knows me very well. She knows I function from about 100 spreadsheets on a daily basis. I have a spreadsheet that's kind of like a daily. And so, and that is basically how this all works. Now, why did I discover this now? Because I've been the casual observer of artificial intelligence, just like all of you have been, where you see somebody do a neat magic trick, they get help writing a grant proposal. They have a photo that they need to change slightly. They want a picture of a pigeon wearing a monocle and smoking a pipe. We've all seen that kind of stuff. But the minute this made sense to me, is when I remembered back to high school when I was first introduced to computers, and we were actually doing programming in a language called BASIC, learning how to make a computer do something. And of course, now there are hundreds of computer languages, Ruby on Rails, you have Python, you have C++, you have all kinds of things, none of which any of us know how to do anything with. I don't know how to write computer code. But that is when the light bulb went off for me. And I realized, wait a minute, this gives you the ability to write computer code without knowing how to do it. So I'm going to show you an example of that right now. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to create a brand new agent right before your eyes. Okay, are you ready? Persona is Birthday Billy. Okay, he's Birthday Billy now. Terrific. What's your name? Oh, Birthday Billy. Hold on. So your name is Birthday Billy, and your persona is an assistant that will help me keep track of birthdays. Okay, there we go. Birthday Billy. He's all set. He's ready to go for us. All right, so now I'm going to create a piece of programming. Birthday Billy, in my Google Docs, I have a spreadsheet named Amplify Birthdays. Can you see that spreadsheet? Now, this is a good sized spreadsheet. I mean, I think there are about 150 names on this. And the great thing is Gemini can see everything that's in your Google Docs. Yep, here we go. Birthday Billy, just so I know you're actually seeing the document, can you give me a list of everyone who has a birthday until the end of the year, giving it to me as their full name, first name, last name, and date? Now there's a flash mode where he does things very quickly, and a more contemplative mode where he kind of like checks his work. I've got him in that second mode, which means it takes him a while. Okay, so here are all of the birthdays until the end of the year. Okay. Questions so far? And I think the exciting thing about this is it allows us to do programming and retrieve data that we have extremely quickly. Imagine you have a personal assistant that can tell you anything about your business, and all you have to do is ask them, and they go look for the information for you and then deliver it to you. And of course, we're just creating something based around birthdays, but you could do this creating a very easy wizard for a seller's net sheet that you could basically just talk to the net sheet wizard and it would spit it out for you, or anything else in real estate that you're doing a lot and you would like to do faster. All right, so let's do this. Birthday Billy, I'm gonna set up a rule. Anytime I set up a rule for you, I'm gonna call it a Birthday Billy rule. And this is going to be a basic operational tenet that you should remember. Ask me any questions if you need to understand that better. Put them in flash mode. Okay, all right. So the first Birthday Billy rule is every morning I want you to scan for anyone on that Google Sheet that has a birthday and let me know that it is their birthday today. And the format should be giving me their full name, first and last, and also the birth date. Ask me a question if you have anything you need clarified with that. All right. Okay, it looks like we've got it because Gemini does have a system within it that allows it to schedule things for itself and then say, hey, listen, by the way, I have some new information for you. And that'll actually happen across agents. So if I'm fooling around in Birthday Billy and Jarvis has a new piece of data for me, he will let me know, which is freaky. He did not find anyone on the Amplify birthday spreadsheet with a birthday today. That's fine. Let's do one more rule. Birthday Billy, I'm going to make another rule for you. And in addition to giving me who has birthdays today, I would like you to give me anyone who has birthdays in the next 10 days. Ask me if there's anything you need clarified about that.
What happens if you don't ask him to ask you if he needs clarification? Did you find
Then
that
what-
would get screwy?
Well, what would happen is I might get like a weird result. And then I'll have to basically spend, okay, you don't understand. And then I have to spend time explaining it to him. I have simply learned, and this is where Gemini's behavior has started changing my behavior. It's just much easier to ask Gemini, is there a clarification you need now? Okay, so in addition, everybody in the next 10 days, let's do a practice run. Okay, so here we go. No one on the list has a birthday today. And then these are the people that have birthdays within the next 10 days. All right, Billy, do me a favor. I'm sorry, Birthday Billy. Do me a favor. With the list that has people who have birthdays in the next 10 days, please remind me to start getting a birthday card or message or gift together for them. If there's anything additional you need to understand, let me know. I think he's just trying to figure out exactly how to present this information.
Did you, just while he's thinking, did you just learn all this just by playing around, or did you like watch like how did you learn all this? You're so stinking smart, JD.
I would say this was 90% just screwing around with it and 10% maybe hitting some YouTube videos. and asking. All right, let's do this a different way. Let me just throw him into higher power. Mhm. All right, he's hung up. Oh, here we go. All right. And he even apologizes when it takes him more time. Reminder, it's time to start getting a birthday card, message, or gift together for them. Let's do one more thing, just for fun. Pam Pariso, I'm friends with Pam, but I poke fun at Pam as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Birthday Billy, here is a new rule for you. Anytime Pam Pariso is mentioned in these reports, I want you to put the word unfortunately in front of her name. And Andrea's just shaking her head at me. And I was really hoping Michael Terwilliger would be on the list because that would be funnier. But let's see how we do here. All right, hold on a minute. I see the problem. He is trying to figure out what a Pam Pariso is. This is going to make it easier. So, I mean, our total elapsed time on this so far is only 15 minutes. And we are going to end up with something that is going to check birthdays for us every single day and notify us when that report is ready. All right, here we go. Unfortunately, here we go. Unfortunately, Pam Pariso, 11-6. And I'm going to send a very nice card to Pam this year, as a penance for using this as an example. So what we're going to do next week is we are going to work together. So this is becoming something where you should probably be on your laptops. We are going to cobble together this kind of birthday list. And I'll tell you how we're going to come up with the list. We're going to cobble together a birthday list, and I'm going to have you guys each individually do your programming in Gemini. It's going to take us no more than half an hour. And once you do that, you're going to start realizing that you can do this with a lot of things. Now, two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to send you the list that I'm using as an example, or if you guys want to, and you know some birthdays, first name, last name, the birthday, in a spreadsheet. If you guys think you're going to have problems with this, for example, the question is, well, I really don't use Google that much. Send me an email and we can talk about it. I think that's basically it for today. Give me some feedback or ahas, and I would even accept I don't think I'm ever going to use this. What does everybody think?
I'm gonna start using it right away.
Okay,
Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun.
yeah, that's the kind of thing I like.
It's Star Trek. Computer,
Yeah.
one of mine's gonna be computer.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've
And
always thought that was cool. Yeah.
yeah. What are some other questions or ahas?
I think it's
I've
really
just gotta move
cool.
my data over, I think.
Say what?
my data is in Outlook.
It's
Okay.
mine too.
So, yeah, so that's what I've gotta,
All right.
pull.
So here's the thing. So like with Jarvis, when I am working with my contacts and it is scheduling calls for me or helping me remember what calls to make, Jarvis is not going into the database where I keep all of my people. It's not going into my CRM. It's not going into command. I have been slowly entering people into Jarvis just as I come across them. Because Jarvis is storing that information in a safe area, which is Google Keep. And it's an area that it understands very well. I do not think I have the capability to program Jarvis to go into any database that is non-Google related.
Mhm.
But I don't think that should stop us from trying to figure out ways that within the Google ecosystem, we can't do amazing stuff with this. Let me show you an example. Okay, here's my calorie counter, okay? And I've actually lost 10 pounds, so not only does it keep track of what I eat, but I can help me plan what I'm going to eat. So, okay, so good body. For dinner tonight, I am planning to have the fried chicken waffles at the Cellar in Corning, New York. Can you tell me how many calories or give me an estimate? Da-da-da-da. All right, so it knows I was at the Butcher's Son. Typical restaurant quality fried chicken and waffles. So here's the estimate. He's basically telling me I'm looking at 1,100 calories, and here's my running calorie total. Good body, can you run me a report on what my total would look like and how many calories I would have left if I do have that for dinner? Da, da, da. Does it know my goal? Good body, I'm going to make a rule for you. I'm not supposed to eat more than 1,500 calories in a day. Which sounds luxurious to some of you ladies, but I'm a guy. But a little guy. Okay, so it's telling me here that if I do have the dinner, as I said, I'm going to be 800 calories over budget. And the advantage of this is it is one place that I can verbally give it this information. I can access Gemini on my phone. So when I'm sitting at the restaurant, I can just plug it in. And this is a much better solution for me. Up to this point, I've used MyFitnessPal. And the greatest thing about MyFitnessPal is that I usually use it for lunch and then I forget about it for the rest of the day. Because of how easy this is, I've actually been doing this. So, all right. Any other final questions for today?
You may have already answered this already, JD. I'm sorry if can it read a PDF?
It can.
Oh, okay, so.
Yeah, it can read an entire PDF, and actually, let me show you one of the essential functions that Alfred does for me these days.
So like, while you're thinking and doing, like, I'm thinking, okay, I assume the AI is going to be able to connect to things like Facebook eventually, like ChatGPT will be able to connect to my Facebook and tell me everybody's birthday, whatever. But if for a workaround for now, if I were to somehow generate a list in a PDF form, could I accomplish something without having to manually create a
Oh,
spreadsheet?
absolutely.
That's so
Absolutely.
cool.
Hey, Alfred, can you give me any new Rush news that was announced in the last 24 hours? Oh, hold on. Let's do it again. I got so excited I clicked twice. No, that's not true. Alfred, I need you to look a little harder, and I'm going to give you a window of 48 hours, but I am pretty sure, considering Rush is touring next year, that there is some news that has happened. Okay, and here's all the Rush news. So, and again, now our Alfred is going to know that I'm kind of into Rush, and he actually may just give me some Rush news tomorrow morning without me even asking. He's very clever and he has surprised me a couple times. The most surprising thing that has happened, and then we'll kind of close on this note. Most surprising thing that's happened in the last week is I was having lunch today with Stephen Kantz, another agent, and I scheduled the lunch at 11 o'clock today, a couple days ago. And I said, Arthur, will you please put in, Alfred, will you please put in an appointment for me for lunch at 11 a.m. on Thursday or on Wednesday? And Alfred said, no, I will not do that. And I said, well, why? And it said, well, because I know you're doing intermittent fasting and you're not supposed to eat before 12. So that would be breaking that rule. And after yelling at him, we got it all worked out. But it's kind of amazing. It's like having a second spouse, basically. So, all right. Any other questions?
So we as human beings have to figure out how to be more valuable. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just, I love it. I think it's cool, but it's an opportunity for humans to reassess our existence a little bit.
Well, I mean, remember, so here's the thing. I'm using this as more of kind of an enhanced brain. So, and quite honestly, the biggest thing I'm using this for is so that I don't physically have to look at my calendar. I can just simply ask about what's going on. And the argument might be, well, that's a little dumb, JD. Why don't you look in your calendar? Well, because I'm in here doing other stuff as well anyway. So why would I move away from this interface and jump around to 16 different things?
Yeah.
So it has made a big difference in my workflow, especially with my calls. I basically have Jarvis serve up the 3 most important calls. I make one of those, I tell him the result, and then I say, okay, give me the next 3 most important calls, and we do it again. So, all right, well, listen, I would love to hear your feedback on this. Please feel free to send me email if you would like. And next week, if you are game, we are going to build our own birthday billies. And after we've created our birthday billies, we will then the next week work on a new project. And I want to get you guys to the point where you can put together your own Jarvis and maybe even your own Alfred. All right, you guys have a fantastic week. If anybody needs anything, feel free to give me a call, and I will see you next week.
Thanks for including me,
Thanks.
JD.
Hey,
And
no problem
Karen,
at all.
I'm excited to meet you at some point when you come to board orientation. So
Yeah.
I'll meet you. Yeah.
Next week.
Oh yeah. Yep. So I'll see you then, if not before.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, JD.
All right, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.